Hello, it is Mary, and this is Mocha. So, in this video, I am going to tell you about the bone marrow study I had done. So, with the bone marrow study, I got a phone call, and to set up the day and time I was going to have the procedure done, that was, I believe, a week before the actual bone marrow study. So I get up to the day of the study, and for me, I could eat at 8 a.m. So depending on the time you get the study, you can't eat 6 hours before it. So they told me I could eat at 8 a.m. and then after 8 a.m. to do clear liquids. So drink Sprite, water, things like that. So I got up a little past 8, so I couldn't eat. So I did all day that day. I did clear liquids. And then, of course, after the procedure, I did get something to eat. So when they wanted me to get to the hospital before the time I was supposed to have the procedure, so I got to the place 10 minutes before. I went to the desk and I checked in. You have to have a driver over the age of 18 to take you home because you will have local anesthesia. The stuff that they gave me, it did not put me to sleep like most things. The procedure I had with the colonoscopy, it did put me to sleep, but this one, it didn't. So when you check in, they gave me a pager to let me know when they're ready to see me. So the pager goes off the first time and it sends me back to get blood work. I got the blood work done. The first thing, the guy couldn't find my veins on this side. So he took out the blood and put the IV in this side. You do have to get an IV when you get it done. And then after he took blood, he sent me back to the waiting room. And I sat there probably 10 minutes before I had to go back and to another room. So they call me 10 minutes later to go back to the room. You give them the pager when you finally go back. They called me back to the room, and after I get into the next room, I sit there and I answer all the medical questions. Some of them I laugh at because they ask you, are you pregnant? Do you have a chance that you can be pregnant? And I laugh at that because I had a hysterectomy, which I will do a video on that. And you can go watch how all that went down. So I sit there after they do the questions and they go over the stuff and how it went. They ask you if you ate, and of course I could tell them, no, I didn't eat. So she leaves the room and goes tells the doctor that I was ready and I knew everything. So the next person that comes in the room is the doctor to go over what you're having done, and they ask you again, are you pregnant? Is there a chance you can be pregnant? Have you added any other surgeries? All that kind of things. And they tell you about it. And then They leave and say, okay, well, I'll have a nurse come out and get you when we're ready for you to come in. The next person comes in about 10 to 15 minutes later. And she asks the same question. Are you pregnant? Do you have the chance to, you can be pregnant? And of course, my answers are always no on that. After that, she walks with you to the room. And for me, it was a long walk. We get to the room, and the bed that you lay on is a bed that can slide back and forth. It goes into this thing that's set up as a x-ray, but it kind of looks like a CT scan or something close to a CT scan because it's a donut that you go through. But pretty much it's an x-ray. So you lay on that table. So depending on the way you get it done. For me, I got it in my back. Some people have done bone marrow in their shoulders, their arms. Mine was in my back, down by my pelvis. So on my lower back, I have this little incision. It's probably no bigger. That maybe a little bit smaller than that. So they'll tell you to lay either on your stomach or on your back, depending on where they get it done. I asked them, will they be putting me to sleep, because I did not want to feel the pain of the whole incision and things. She put the needle in, and I felt that. I screamed when she did that. But of course, they did give me a sedation stuff that didn't put me to sleep. It makes you where you not be able to move, where you're relaxed, your body's relaxed. After going through the procedure, you have to lay 15 minutes on the table so you can get body movement back. When the nurse did come in and do the final checking your blood pressure, because one of the things they did was check the blood pressure. They left your IV in. So when you lay up, they can do that. When you sit up, they can do that. So when she came in to do the last part of the checking the blood pressure, the whole procedure only lasted maybe 10 to 15 minutes, 20 stops. When they're done doing that, and it's been 15 minutes of you laying on the table, they'll have you sit on the edge of the table so they can pull out the IV and check your blood pressure one more time. That was a little bit hard for me to get up because my body really wasn't ready to get up. I sat down on the table and she took it. My blood pressure was normal. She took the IV out. The pad, I'll get into that after. So she told me to stand, and if I stood and walked a couple steps, I could walk out. If I didn't feel like I could walk, I would have been in a wheelchair, and she would push me all the way to outside the building, and I would have to sit there for waiting for the car. But I felt fine where I could get up and walk. So, where they have the procedure done, they put a band-aid, a big bandage on it, which was like a gauze. That in the middle part was gauze, and then around it was the plastic from the bandage. You had to keep that on until the next morning, to make sure that if you did bleed a little bit, it'd pick up the blood, not having it over your clothes and all that. You couldn't take a bath, get in the pool or nothing. So if you have to have this done, hopefully it's in the fall when you don't have to worry about pools and being hot outside. So I did walk out all the way to the house, the car, and then I went grocery shopping, got that done, then came home and rest the next 3 days. I was sore for 3 days, but it could be 4 days that you're sore. They did call me the next day and ask me how I was doing and how I was feeling. And of course, I told them I was sore. So, on top of the bandage, you can't take a bath, like I said, or get the bandage wet. When you take it off, you're going to have the cleaning stuff that they sterilized the spot and washed it. You're going to have that, and you're going to have like black marks, little black marks on it. What I basically did after I took the bandage off, I grabbed a washcloth a washcloth. I got it wet and I wiped as gentle as I could around the spot to see how it looks. For me, my back was still sore 4 days after. I have a little tenderness on it to touch, but other than that, it is perfectly fine. My procedure took up to 2 hours from start to finish. It was something I never want to do again. If I have to do it, I'm going to ask them if they can give me a little bit more of this medicine to knock me out, because that pain when it happened, I didn't like. Again, this is Mary, and this is Mocha down here. Like this video, subscribe, turn your bell on for notifications to let you know when I post more videos. Remember, today's going to be a good day. Life is good. Love is love. Again, I am Mary, and this is Mocha right here. Hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.